This joke is long, and it is well worth watching. One day, in a small town in the middle of nowhere, a redneck wearing nothing but jeans and suspenders was pumping gas into his Pinto at the local gas station. To his surprise, a rich man in a Ferrari pulled up next to him to pump gas into his $600,000 car. As the rich man was pumping gas, he looked over at the bewildered redneck. Noticing the admiration on his face, the rich man asked in a cocky tone, "What, you want a race, farm boy?" Not one to back down to a challenge, the redneck replied in a defiant tone, "I sure do, city boy." Shortly after that, the two men had their cars lined up on a super long stretch of straight road. The two men were standing in between the two cars, discussing how to ensure a fair start. They finally concluded that the rich man would hold up 3 fingers and do a countdown. When the last finger dropped, they would go for it. So the rich man opened his door and stepped into his car. Then the redneck walked around to the door of his car and climbed in. The rich man started the countdown, and when the last finger fell, they took off. The rich man decided to toy with the redneck and only shift up to second gear, but by the time he got to full speed in second gear, the Pinto was just a dot in his rearview mirror. What a waste of time, the rich man thought. Suddenly, the Pinto went roaring by. "Whoa!" the rich man said. So then he shifted up into third, then fourth gear to still give the redneck a sporting chance. Once again, the Pinto became a dot in his rearview mirror. To the rich man's surprise, the Pinto went flying by again. "Fine!" the rich man shouted. So then he went all out, shifting up into sixth gear and putting the pedal to the floor. By now, the Ferrari was doing about 210 miles. The Ferrari blew by the Pinto, and once again the Pinto became a tiny speck in his rear view. The Pinto blew by him again, practically blowing the Ferrari's doors off. Having been beaten by the Pinto, the rich man pulled over to the side of the road and stopped. In a rage, he got out and slammed his door as the redneck backed up next to his car. "What kind of motor do you have in that, Pinto?" shouted the rich man. The redneck climbed out of his Pinto shaking like a nervous chihuahua and replied, "I have no idea, but I got my suspenders caught in your door."